Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to the Gumtown Podcast, episode 189. I'm Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving it a shot. Today's guest is the founder and owner of Queen's Creative Hand. I'm looking forward to this conversation. I'm sure we'll all be inspired by her story. Let's chop it up with Tamiah Coleman. Tamiah, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Glad to hear that, and all is well on my end too. First things first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to talk to you today. So, yay, I'm excited.
Ma'am, likewise. Of course, here to talk about all the great things you got going on with Queen's Creative Hand. But before
hmm
we talk business, let's get to know the woman behind the brand. So you're originally from Fairhope, Alabama. What was life like growing up in Fairhope?
Yes, I'm from Fairhope, Alabama. It's a predominantly small town. We have arts and craft festival. That's kind of one of the things it's known for. So we have a lot of traffic coming in with our art scene. So I kind of grew up in a space where I was always privy to art. Like I took art all throughout my art, all throughout middle school and high school. So it was a pretty small, diverse city. That was, I would say, the number one thing that I loved most about it was the diversity. You have a little bit of everything. So it was pretty nice. I can't complain.
Okay, sounds good. So it's no mistake why how and why you became a multidisciplinary artist. You grew up around it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you could say that. I kind of was always it was always available to me. Which when you go to different places, you really see how art really isn't a priority in the education system. So it was good looking back on that how much they poured art into. So it was definitely experience. I appreciate every bit of it.
Okay, sounds good. That's awesome. That's great that you were able to be exposed to the arts and grow up in Fairhope. And so once you grew up in Fairhope, of course, finished up high school and all that good stuff, did you go to college, military, or did you go right to work once you finished high school?
So I originally, that's actually what led me to Montgomery. I actually came up here, to go to school. I went to AUM, Army University of Montgomery. So I was there for a while. Originally, I was going to school for veterinary medicine, but, life starts lifing, and doing its thing. So I kind of just realized school wasn't for me. So from that point on, I kind of just started really taking art more seriously. But yep, I went to AUM. Go Warhawks.
Okay, sounds good. That's great. So during your time at AUM, just overall, what was that college experience like for you?
I loved it. Again, being the fact that I came from a very diverse city, I feel like it was more my speed. Like I absolutely love the fact that we had so like our they have a program at AUM where it's foreign exchange students and stuff like that. So we had a big community of foreign exchange students. So you see a little bit of everything. So it was definitely an experience. Like it was fun, always things to do, like to keep everybody busy. So I really had a good time. It's not much that I can say as far as bad. I really did have a good time.
Okay, that's good. You had a great time at AUM, got a chance to meet people from all over. I went to Alabama State, but I do understand the college experience. There are a lot of similarities just in terms of getting a chance to meet people from all over, East Coast,
Yeah.
West Coast, Midwest. So sounds
Yeah.
like, yes, ma'am, sounds like you got a chance to meet people from all over at AUM. And just backing up a little bit to Maya. So when you made your way from Fairhope to Montgomery to the Gump, I got to ask you, did you experience any culture shock?
Ooh, that's a good question. Absolutely. It's
Let's talk about it.
Oh, that's funny. No, yes, a very big culture shock. It's like, it's not, how do I put it? It's a little different. I think the people are a little more direct here, like which is cool, but I don't know. It's just different. The relationships here that you can form can kind of be like a make or break it thing. So I don't know. For me, it was a big jump, kind of, especially being the fact that I didn't know anybody here. So like, it was a little different, I will say, but overall, I will say I appreciate the experience. Being here has taught me a lot just about myself and just being able to have thick skin. So it was a little bit of a culture shock, but it has its pros and cons.
It's all good. Listen, trust me, I'm born and raised in Montgomery. I already know what time it is. So coming from Fairhope, hey, Montgomery is definitely is an adventure. Like it's always something going on, good, bad, or indifferent. So I
Yes.
we'll we'll just leave it at that. So I definitely understand what you mean in terms of just the culture shock. So that's great. So just so you were in school for veterinary medicine, and then you made a pivot. You decided to make that change and direct your focus and your attention back into the art. So what was that moment when you knew, hey, it's time to make this shift, make this pivot, and go back towards my passion?
See, and that's a good question. It was hard. It was actually making that decision. It all happened so fast. Like it just COVID hit and things kind of got crazy for everybody. And it just got to a point where it's just like I decided I wasn't gonna do school anymore. So that same week, I said I'm not going back home either. I gotta make something shake, snap, crackle, and pop. So that same week, I just got my apartment and I just kind of made all those decisions in such a short time. Like, when you're going through things and life starts happening, you just have to make these decisions. At the time, it doesn't really sound the best, like sometimes you just do it because it just seems right at the time. But I'm really glad I did that, being the fact that it was something I already had going on. I had already started my business. So it was something that I could now sit back and actually pour into. But that was a very hard decision. That was definitely by far one of the hardest decisions that I had to make. But at the same time, it granted me so much freedom. So I definitely would say I made the right choice.
That's good. That's great that you're able to look back on that decision and be happy with the decision because
Yeah.
that was definitely a big decision to be in school, pursuing veterinary medicine and going AUM and then just realizing, hey, you wanted to make that pivot, you wanted to make that decision and something that you said that was so key to Maya that I think is so important when it comes to making decisions is make quick decisions. Like don't spend too much time overthinking, overanalyzing, and it sounds like, hey, you knew what you wanted to do. You made some very pivotal decisions very fast. And I know that's probably not conventional advice. And most people say, hey, take your time, pray on it, think. But sometimes you just got to go. Because if you sit there and pray too much and think too much, you won't do anything, you know?
Would do anything. That's correct. Correct. I totally agree with that. So it's definitely one of those things where it's just like, especially when again life be life and like time don't wait on nobody. So it's just one of those things where it's just you got to make decisions and if it's meant to be, if it's for you, if it's gonna work out, it's gonna work out. But definitely take that leap of faith. Don't wait too long because then that's where you become stagnant.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So when you made that decision to leave school and go full time as an artist, how was support of your village? Was your family and friends like were they on board for you making that decision? Like what was that like?
Oh, you're asking the good questions. It was pretty interesting. I will say, though I had the majority of the, when it comes to your support system, I think people got to understand that regardless of whatever it is that you want to do, nobody can tell you how to live your life. Nobody can tell you what choices you really can make. That's only for you to make. So it's one of those things where no, I didn't have, you know, the support that I feel like I wish I had, but I had the support that I needed, which was the main people. So it was just one of those things where it's just like you gotta make people believe. Like it's kind of like, you know, nobody has to believe in you. So you have to be your biggest supporter. You have to believe in yourself. That's the only way it can work. Everybody's like opinions and the support. It's cool. It's needed, and I feel like it's crucial when you're having your hard days. But you have to be your biggest supporter. So with or without the approval or the acceptance of family members or friends, you gotta get it done, and people are gonna get in line. Like it's okay to kind of figure it out after a while, but you gotta kind of do it for yourself. So it was one of those things where it's just like, okay, well, y'all don't see the vision yet, but I'm gonna help you believe. Just give me just a short amount of time, and now we're here, and I have everybody's, I wouldn't say everybody's, but everybody's on board and with the program, and they see the hard work being put in. So it's just one of those things where it's gonna reward itself. People are just gonna take their time getting with the program.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Everything you said is spot on. And the reason I asked that question is because there probably is somebody out there who wants to pursue something. And I'm glad you were transparent about not necessarily having the support that you expected to have, because there's somebody out there who may want to go for it. And it's great to just set the expectation. Hey, when you go after your dreams, some of your village not gonna necessarily understand it. But the most
Mm-hmm.
important thing is, Tamiah, you did it anyway,
Anyway,
despite the people not necessarily understanding your vision, because at the end of the day, it's your vision. God gave it to you, not them. So
but
it's not up to them to necessarily see it. And salute to you for going for it anyway and not letting criticism or naysayers stop you. That's great. That's amazing.
thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. It's not a easy journey, but once you get to the end of the tunnel, it's pretty dope sight. So I appreciate that. I really do.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. All right, so let's get to what we're here to talk about. All the great things you got going on in the art space. Yes, ma'am. Let's talk about Queen's creative hand. So I'm big into brand names and origins and how they come about. So let us know, like, what inspires you to name your brand that?
So, Queen's creative hand really just came from like I've always looked at myself as a queen. Like it's just, I'm God's child. I'm one of the ones. So, it's just it kind of stemmed from that and just really just believing in myself. And Queen always kind of just held that weight. Like it just Queen. It says it in it says it for itself. Like it's not much you really have to say like Queen. You get it like Queen, but it really just was just creative, the ideas just coming together. And creative kind of is one of those words that just means a plethora of things. It's because art is just whatever you wanted it to be. So in, I got blessed hands. So it's like you kind of just put it all together and you just come up with something. And I just kind of got Queen's creative hand. I was like, okay, I kind of like it. A little long, but I like it.
Yes, ma'am, and that's great. That's a very organic way how you came up with the name. And like I said, I'm just one of them weirdos. I'm always interested, like, how did they come up with that brand name? Like, what was the
Yeah.
inspiration? And just hearing you talk about it, like, that's great. Very organic way, very dope name, very catchy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try.
Yes, ma'am. So you are a multidisciplinary artist. For people who don't know what that is, can you kind of explain to us what that is?
So it's basically an artist that just do a little bit of everything. I'm one of those artists that I'm not a big fan of being put in a box. I don't like being put limits on what I can and cannot do. So if it's something I want to do, I'm gonna do it. So from murals to portraits to you name it, digital design, I pretty much do it all. So it's just another way of saying whatever you need done, just let me know and I got you.
Awesome. That's great that you don't put yourself in the box, that you're willing to go out there and take chances and create art. And so it just sounds like you just have that artistic freedom. Like you don't
Yes.
put yourself in any type of box. That's amazing. That's great because yeah, I could have Googled it and I could have known what it was, but I wanted to hear the definition from an artist, and I appreciate you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Of course. That's what I'm here to do.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So whenever I have entrepreneurs, creators on the platform like yourself, I like to talk about three things: the aha moment, action, and audacity. You pretty much already covered all three of those. Like the aha moment when you were doing the pandemic back in school, you realized you wanted to make that transition and get back into the arts. The action portion, you got right to it. You didn't spend a whole lot of time thinking about it. You just got to it and went after it. And that audacity, it sounds like you gave yourself the audacity to step out there and go for it.
Correct. Yes, for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Awesome stuff. So I was going through some of your catalog, looking at some of your dope art, and I definitely just want to talk about a couple of the pieces and just really just want to find out the inspiration behind it and just how long did it take you to create these pieces of art. So I want to start with Blown Away. Like that's an amazing piece of art. So tell us what was the inspiration behind it and how long did it take you to create it?
Blown away. It that was a pretty fun piece. So typically I'm a pretty fast artist. People say that all the time. I'm one of those artists that I can't wait. I have to get it done. So on a regular day basis, like if I wake up and I kind of want to do a painting, I'll probably get up around like between 6 or 8, and I could start a painting and be done making content by 5, 6 o'clock. So typically I can get it done in a day. Now, if it's in regards to a custom or, commission order, I kind of just get it done over time. But typically if I really just dedicate enough time, I can get it done in a day. But that painting was pretty unique. The meaning behind it, it was just to really showcase the black man's mind, like, and how the mind could just be so many places. And I'm a grills girl. Like, I just love grills. I love the idea and the power behind grills. So I kind of just add that as a little sweet, cute addition. So yeah, it's just really just a representation of letting the mind be free and doing it with like letting it do what it actually just really does, which is be everywhere. So that's really what that painting's about.
That's amazing. That's organic. That's just hearing you talk about the inspiration behind it because it's one of those paintings. As I was looking at it, I was like, "That's so dope." And I got to ask her, "What was the inspiration? What is it about?" Because just looking at it, it just caught my eye as I was going through your catalog, and I appreciate the explanation just behind it. That's amazing.
Of course, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I love that.
Yes, ma'am. And the second one and the last one I want to ask about that really caught my eye and really just I just felt the emotion looking at this piece of art, bound yet unbroken. What was the inspiration behind it, and how long did it take you?
Ooh, bound yet unbroken. I love that piece. That's actually funny because I will be displaying that piece tomorrow at the city hall meeting. So that piece it was pretty dope. I did it right around the time that women's rights was going on with once Trump got elected and stuff like that. So it was just like a declaration to say how important women's rights is, especially Black women's rights. Our death rate is a lot higher than everybody else's, so it's just to shed a light on an important matter where at a time where I don't feel like women are being 100% protected. So it was just really just to declare that we're still here. Our opinions, our votes, our bodies, the way we think and choose to move is important. So yeah, that's basically what that one was about. And I love that piece. I really love. So I can't wait to let everybody see it. So.
Yes, ma'am. That's both of those pieces are great, and yeah, and I think what it was that caught my eye between both of them is like I knew it represented something each for the black man and the black woman. I had to ask about them just to get your inspiration behind them, and I appreciate you for just sharing that with us. Like both powerful pieces of art, and great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. So, as it relates to your first solo show that's coming up, and I know at the time of this podcast airing, that show would have already occurred. I know it's coming up on April the 5th. So, what are you most looking forward to about your first solo show?
Oh, I'm just so excited to see everybody's reactions. I'm excited to see really to hear the conversations, to really just talk about each painting. And it's never seen before artwork, so it's going to be new pieces, new for everybody. And, it's kind of like I just been working so much and trying to just focus on, everything coming together. It's just like that's gonna be a moment where we all can really just, including myself, just sit back and kind of look, kind of take it in and kind of just admire it with everybody else. So I'm just really excited to really just hear the conversations and kind of just get everybody's, input and views, because the best part about art is you can create something and, give your own, representation of what it is, but it can mean anything. It's really what you choose to look at and see. So I'm excited for the conversations for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And I know it's going to be an amazing event. People going to show up and show out. It's gonna be absolutely, it's gonna be a huge success. So, with you being a creative, you being full-time artist and in creative mode at all times, I gotta ask you, Tamiah, what do you do? What do you do to decompress? Like, do you ever get away from creating, or are you always in creative mode?
Oh, I feel like I'm always in creative mode, but at the same time, I kind of just I consider myself a stay at home kind of girl. Like I go outside, but I really enjoy just time to myself and really just being able to just kind of just decompress, be in my own little space. But I love food. I'm wherever the food is at, honey. I'm there. So really just going out and really just enjoying myself and kind of just debriefing and kind of just eating. Yeah. So if it's food, I'm down. So food or a good drink, yeah, for sure.
Okay, hey, awesome stuff. Hey, it's all about just finding those ways to decompress, just those opportunities to get away from creative mode, and hey, a good meal and a good drink. Hey, I'm for it. Love to hear it. Yes, ma'am. So you've done great things in this artist space, and I know great things are coming down the pipeline, which leads to my next portion, vision. What are some of your short-term or long-term goals as an artist you feel comfortable sharing?
Um, really just kind of just pushing the boundaries on, murals and kind of getting into that. I kind of started off small, so it's kind of like go big or go home type thing now. So I really am loving murals. I think it's so therapeutic. So I'm really just trying to get into murals, trying to go big and more art galleries, slowly but surely I'm kind of getting my name out there. So really just taking my time with it and, looking forward to the new connections, networking, and kind of just meeting new people and kind of enjoying the ride. So not too much expectation, but definitely trying to go bigger. Trying to work hard to make sure I can be and have my foot in every room for sure.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, that was a great goal, short term, long term, just in terms of continuing to expand and grow. And I have no doubt you'll continue to put in the work and make it happen.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am. As we wrap up the podcast, I want to ask $1 million question. I started this podcast because I wanted to highlight the greatness connected to the city of Montgomery. Whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life, be it college, military, or work, you coming to Montgomery to attend college and you still residing in Montgomery as a full-time artist. Tamaya, I got to ask you, what do you appreciate the most about the city of Montgomery?
I appreciate that it's willing to evolve and grow. I appreciate from the moment I got here till now how many just beautiful and amazingly talented people I've met. It's the city is so rich in creativity and I feel like it's so many hidden gems here, whether it be people, places, or things. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, and I wouldn't change it for nothing. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Powerful stuff. So, Tamaya, how can the people connect with you? What are your social media handles?
So feel free to follow me on Instagram, queens.creative.hand, and as well as on TikTok, which is Tamiah Coleman altogether, and as well as on Facebook, Tamiah Coleman altogether. So be on the lookout for new things. I'll plan on having an art show again next year. So everyone again is invited. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Too easy. And of course, I'll put all of that information in the description of the episode. Hey, Tamaya, thanks again for the conversation. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. Have a good night.
Too. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumtown Podcast. In the meantime, in between time, y'all know what to do. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you.